Hi, folks. Before we get into today's episode, I wanted to jump in and say happy, productive, beautiful 2026 to all of you. Thank you so much for supporting the Island Woman podcast during 2025. And I hope you're still riding with me during 2026. We are resuming season 3 with women leaders, founders, experts over the next few weeks. And I hope you'll continue to stay tuned in. Let's go. Today, I am joined by an entrepreneur from the beautiful island of Grenada. I've had the absolute pleasure of knowing and exchanging ideas with her over the past 5 years. And I've been cheering her on from the sidelines as she continues to grow her marketing communications and project management agency. It is my pleasure to welcome and to introduce you to Kimalene Regis. Hi, Kimalene. It's nice to see you.
Hi, Diane. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today.
Do you aspire to an uncomplicated and fulfilling way of life? I'm Dianne Squires, aka Dianne. That's what all my friends call me. I'm an island woman living on the island of Barbados and walking my path to a big and simple life. Walk with me and learn with me. Welcome to the Island Woman podcast. It's fantastic to have you. I know that we're used to doing these virtual calls, but now we have an audience. So this is going to be wonderful, I think. So, guys, let me tell you a little bit more about Kimalene. She's the founder of Kimalene Regis Co, a marketing, communications, and project management company based in her native home, Grenada. Leveraging her master's in project management, her bachelor's in communications, and undeniable creativity, Kimalene built a notable reputation in the credit union movement as an innovative marketer. And now, through KRC, she helps organizations make their mark and achieve business goals by using project management principles to deliver successful communications, marketing, and branding strategies, campaigns, and promotions. The KRC team is known for its dynamic events for business leaders, and they've recently developed the first tangible product of the agency, a beautiful 166-page spiral bound planner, which I can't wait to get my hands on. I think it's soon available on Amazon, right, Kimalene?
Yes, it's soon available on Amazon.
Perfect. So if you are visiting Grenada, though, you can find it in the Galleria Mall in Grand
Correct.
Anse, right? Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. So you ready?
I am so ready for this.
All right. I ask all my guests this question, and I can't wait to get your take on it. If you had to create a survival kit for a Caribbean woman entrepreneur, and you could only include 3 items, what would you pack? And in what priority?
Okay. So, as you introduced me, I want to add an introduction about you. I have to say, Diane has been one of my, I should say, cheerleaders from the side. However, she was one of the early adopters to my vision, who supported my initial jump off into entrepreneurship from a space where she has been before and cheered me on. So I want to say, I love your podcast series, and this is so you. So I applaud you. Keep doing it.
Thank you.
And I hope my choice is similar to what something you would choose for a Caribbean entrepreneur, but we'll see.
Go ahead.
My first one is a planner, a tracker, or a goal setter.
Yep.
And that's right up my alley. Some people feel that planning or journaling or writing things down may be very academic, but sometimes it points you in the right direction and it helps you to think of things. They feel it's a waste of time. I think it's better to, I don't say waste or use the time on the front end than wasting the time and trying to fix it on the back end because it takes longer. So even not only in business, but in your personal life, if you could write down a goal or how you plan to get there in a loose form, it helps you to get there sooner rather than later. Maybe not in the same way you originally planned, but definitely in a way that makes sense to you. So my first one would be a planner, journal, or a tracker, a must-have.
Yep.
The
Like that.
second is I'm going to cheat a little bit and do a kit or bundle. And that's a refresh or reset bundle. So I'm cheating here. So it's a little packet with a mist or a spray, something with a scent that smells good that you like.
Uh-huh.
It could be an oil, an essential oil that kind of reinvigorates you or something like that. And a lip
Wow.
gloss, a lipstick, or lip balm, whichever is your role, right? And that's primarily because you switch hats out all throughout the day. And
Uh-huh.
sometimes you need to change your mood, reset, change your pace, and show up in a different way. And
Yeah.
if you don't have a little something, some people carry their whole cosmetic kit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need that. You just need something to awaken, liven you, and switch your mood.
Oh,
And
oh,
that little kit will help.
I love it. I personally do not go anywhere without my lip balm.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes you feel like a different person sometimes. Like you haven't been about all day tired, switching hats, and sometimes you just put
Mm,
it on and you feel,
yeah.
woo, new me.
Yeah. Love it.
The final one is a tech kit that has either your power bank or some hotspot somewhere. So this will allow you to stay connected if you want to stay connected. And that's the most important thing. In the Caribbean, we suffer from power surges, loss of power, drop in internet connectivity
Yep.
sometimes. And it helps if we have something portable that we could carry about to help us do what we need to do, despite what else may be going on. And I think that is my fifth thing.
I love it. So your planner, journal, or a tracker, your reset bundle to do some rejuvenation between all the roles that you
All the
play
world.
in a day. And then your tech
Yes.
kit with a power bank or a hotspot just to keep you connected if you want to be connected. I like that. Love that a lot. I'm interested to know though, and I mean, this makes sense because you now have a planner, which is gorgeous, by the way. The rose colored glasses is what it's called.
Yes, rose-colored glasses planner.
The rose-colored glasses planner. And that's really in keeping with your first choice for and the person that I know you to be. You definitely prioritize planning. When we have conversations, it's always about what was the plan and how did we meet our targets. And that's why I'm always so impressed by you. So I love the idea of the planner. And I can tell you guys who are watching or listening, this is Kimalene. This is what she does. This is how she operates. She plans, she executes, she goes back and she sees what she's accomplished or what she hasn't yet. And that's what I love about her. So tell us though more about Kimalene Regis Consulting, because I know I gave the overview of what you do and when you started, but I kind of want to go into, was there a specific catalyst for starting? See, so start there. If so, what was that catalyst?
Planning. That was the catalyst. So I was at a full-time job, very engaged, very excited. It gave me a lot of pleasure to be there. However, I was entering a phase in my life that was a bit different from before. I now had a child. I needed more flexibility. I had personal responsibilities that were very time consuming. And I thought at that point in time, it wouldn't be fair to an organization and in some measure to bequeath me all this time that I needed, that I felt as if I needed to do what I needed to do. On top of that, I was hitting the age, and some people think middle age. I don't want to age myself out either. A point in my life where I felt I needed some change
Yeah.
because I was heading to the point of no return in my construct, meaning that it's either I ride out my job till I retire, or if I need to pivot, it is no.
Yeah.
So in trying to visualize the type of life I wanted to live for the next 20 years when I would potentially retire, um, I thought that where I was, or the job, or the lifestyle I was leading was not congruent with who I wanted to be for the next 20 years. And that was the factor that pushed me, because sometimes something needs to push you for you to take action.
Yeah.
pushed me into this is a time to do something you always wanted to do. It has always been on my heart to start a business, this type of business in marketing agency type consultancy. And I felt it was a time where I would have acquired the right skill sets, the
Yeah.
connections, and the confidence in my ability to deliver to do this. So I decided to become an entrepreneur
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah. And I think a lot of women, I mean, men as well, can relate to that. Things happen, you change, your responsibilities change. And that kind of, especially working in marketing, I mean, you and I both, we know that sometimes the grind can be real. So you are both doing the strategizing, you're executing on brand activations, you're reporting back to the team, you're out in the field, you're in the office, and then you're going home at night and you're trying to complete things for the next day. So you can literally put in 16 hours, 12 of them in the office and another 4 at home. And so when now the responsibilities at home start to grow, you're stretched.
You're stretched. And I respect women in this industry. People talk about women in male dominated industries and they talk about agriculture or farming or construction, even engineering. But women in marketing are champions
Yeah, for sure.
because they hold many hats. They do many things, work lots of hours, are in unique positions in both strategy and execution and all of that. So it could be daunting if you don't enjoy it. And it's a male dominated, meaning there is a bit of misogyny in it as well that the average person doesn't see.
Hmm. So
Yes.
interesting. So what has Kimalene Regis and Co been doing over the last 5 years? So you talked about the family commitments kind of giving you that push into something that you knew you wanted to do. Because I know we discussed this when you came out of university, you knew that you wanted to be in business. And I remember
Mhm.
you sharing with me that, then the opportunity came up to go into corporate and you took that and you ran with it and made waves. But what has the business been doing over the past 5 years? How has that been going? Who have you been serving?
Okay. So you are right. It has always been on my heart to start my own business. When I started this business, as I mentioned before, I like to plan. I had all these lofty goals about how many millions KRC will be reaching in by the time it's 5 years old. We turned five this year.
Yay!
However, this journey has been one where I learned a lot about myself. And I didn't think I would learn that the starting a business would teach me more about myself than the business. And that was my first hold up. What's going on here? My primary target audience is really the financial sector, but in measure, medium to larger size businesses that value marketing and need to augment their teams in terms of speeding up executions, executed independently so that they have the leeway and bandwidth to add more products, add more services to their arsenal. And we support them in that. For speed of execution, creativity in execution and marketing, and of course, planning when, where, how, and how it's going to help build the brand or divert the brand because we have already been involved in a couple of rebrands as well.
Rebrands.
Right. So that's where we are. But in trying to create a business that does all of this for our clients, we had to create a construct in which we could operate well. And which is why we are poised to move into regional markets because our team is entirely remote. We have used some online tools. We use Slack, we use Monday.com. So we're connected digitally. We communicate digitally with our clients and the teams and have formal structures in terms of reporting, client deliverables, all of that.
Yeah.
However, for me, in terms of building, and that's one of the things I wanted to build into this new life, a life in which I could live my life and build a business and not sacrifice one for the other all the time.
Mm,
So building a bit of flexibility into the business structure, and that came with creating online platforms, utilizing it as a daily part of our business. However, even that can get very stringent as well, depending on project timelines and deliverables, etc. But we do
yeah.
try to provide space for our team to breathe within the construct of our client deliverables and our goals.
Yeah. What I love about your background, Kimalene, is in marketing, as in many other things, project management is required and successful project management. And so I love that your background is both in project management and in the marketing space. But you have developed a special love for in person events and producing in person events. And through KRC, you've now done a whole series, I think, for the past 4 or 5 years that target especially professionals, but professional women. Why has this been so important to you? I mean, already what you're doing with your clients and trying to rebrand or do the launches or roll out campaigns, that's a lot. Why are in person events important to you?
These types of events to me are high impact for me and comes from a space of wanting to learn and opening up people to information and experiences. So in my full-time job, I did execute events as well. So it wasn't a big leap for me to do events in my own business. However, the women focused businesses really come from a space in which I think women in the Caribbean need to develop a bit more in terms of connecting to themselves and who they are and where they want to be and being intentional about it, that your life does not just evolve around you and you adapt to everything around it, but that you have a way you want to be, a space you want to reach, a goal you want to reach, and have the things in your life, the inputs in your life get you there.
Yeah.
So my event started off with some lovely ladies who agreed to speak to in the first one for free. Women of impact. There are so many people around us that aren't heralded. We push, or there are some that are very visible, but there are some that are doing tremendous things, managing businesses, homes, etc. And sometimes if we could just get a nugget from one of them that we may hold on to,
Yeah.
that may make all the difference in seeing that our lives could change in a way that we want it to, and
Hmm.
not just with things happening around us.
Hmm.
So maybe it comes from a space of planning, control, direction, maybe, but opening women up to it doesn't have to be the way it is. It could be the way you want it to be or closer to the way you want it to be. If you are intentional, if you seek out the information, if you have a network of people around you who can support your dreams and where you're going.
I
And
love
that
it.
is what my events are about. Our hope is to build it into more than just one event, but a community of women who actively support each other positively in sharing information. And that's our next iteration of it coming next year, because
Yay.
it's going to be our fifth year next year.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes. And making promises to ourselves that we can work actively towards and not disappearing into the family and disappearing into the corporate and disappearing into it is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's the hope I want to give women, and to see people that they see around them doing this, not in any lauded way, but in ways that matters to them, and say, hey, if she can do this, I can do it
Yeah.
too in my way
So
for myself.
So instead of fading into the background while you're doing all the work behind the scenes, because women are excellent at that. We do all the groundwork behind the scenes. We pull the strings, we make things happen. But a lot of the times we're not out there in the forefront sharing the information that we have, the insights that we have. Let's talk insights, because information is one thing, but we gain a lot of insights from doing all the hard work behind the scenes and leading from behind. So we are often pushing other people into the spotlight, and we don't take up that spotlight. We don't take up that space. So I love it. And I also love the names that you have created for some of those events. Tell us some of the names that the events go under.
Well, our flagship is Denim and Diamonds. All right. We have a smaller in-client event we call cocktails, coffee and conversations.
Yeah.
And then we have another one, which is brand and brunch.
Yeah.
So we fiddle a lot around with names and concepts to give our clients and our invitees to our events experiences. So, for example, the Denim and Diamond event is jeans branded. So you attend with jeans and something sparkly.
Yeah.
And it's a way to disarm women as well, that you're not coming to a fashion show and denim is so casual and open. So we want them to be open to their experiences. So come, bring a friend and learn and share. And sharing is very important in that event where you get prompts and we share about experiences, about preferences, about ways of living. So you don't just learn from the main speakers, you learn from these working groups where women share their own experiences or perspectives based on the prompts
Yeah, I
in the
love it.
event.
I mean, we've had conversations, Kimalene, about wealth building and using our businesses for wealth building, the challenges that come with that, but the big goals and ambitions that we've had. And this season, as you know, because I would have shared with you, which I share with every guest who's on this season, how I think that if women are fully engaged and we're starting to earn more income, whether it's through business or otherwise, that I feel we really have the power to elevate our communities to a new kind of prosperity. And so my idea of a big and simple life is that balancing that big ambition with your well-being. And so I want to discuss those two things with you from an entrepreneur's perspective. So let's talk about ambition first and the scale of your ambition. We are going to put it on a scale between 0 and 10. So if you had to put your ambition, your drive for building Kimalene Regis and Co. into a multi-million dollar, globally impactful business, the scale being 0, not at all a priority, to 10, your absolute life mission, where are you on that scale? What number?
I think I'm an 8.
Tell me
I
why.
think I'm an 8 because while that is a goal, I'm not going to sacrifice what I need to sacrifice to get that. So yes, I believe that anything you make a priority, you make it at the expense of other things. So just so you say yes to something means you have to say no to other things. And I think that in order for me to build a business that big and that all encompassing, it means that I may have to sacrifice parts of who I am that I'm not willing to sacrifice. So while being expansive, having huge impact is really important to me. Having impact and presence in my life and making choices that make me happy is coming to the fore, right? And there's certain things I am not willing to do to be that big.
Mm,
I once met an entrepreneur who told me, a solopreneur, she doesn't want to have any employees. And it shocked me. Because my impression, at least initially in this journey, is the bigger the better.
yeah,
If you have employees, you can scale. If
yeah,
you the more employees you have, the better. But the bigger the goal, the bigger the problems. And what she was trying to explain to me is that she is comfortable with the problems she has. And she doesn't want the kinds of problems, and I'm using the word problems here liberally, that comes with scaling to another level. Some people don't want the responsibility of being responsible for somebody else's livelihood.
yeah.
Yes. And that's okay. We all have to determine where we want to be. But for me, I'm okay with it. I'm, o- I'm
You
okay with it.
are.
I'm very okay with it. I have grown to be okay with it.
Yeah.
And because I feel that people who can do good should do good as much as they can. And the more I scale and the more my business earns and the money I make, the more I can do good things with it. So
Yes.
that's my goal, to be as profitable as I can be, to be as big as I can be, to make a better impact in my community. And that's my
Okay,
goal.
great. So we put you on that scale of ambition and you say you are an 8. You feel that the cost of getting maybe to a 10 is going to be way too high. You're not willing to go there. All right.
Yes.
So let's put your sense of well-being now on a similar scale again, 0 to 10. um your sense of well-being, having a life outside of work, having a sense of freedom, maybe that, that time for family and whatever other commitments you think you would have to sacrifice to get a 10 on the other scale. You are 0, you are constantly stressed. This is the well-being scale. 0 is constantly stressed and
Mhm.
10 is perfectly balanced. Where are you on that scale?
I'm at a 5 because when we speak about well-being, we speak about mental well-being and we speak about physical well-being. So I'm
Yeah.
grouping them together, right? In the pursuit of growing your business, sometimes you sacrifice the things you should pay attention to, as in your health, your eating, your um, exercise, prioritizing being in nature and those kinds of things. So that's where I need to work on. I don't know last time I went to the beach, I'm telling you. Not because it isn't just right outside my house, but because I'm in such a mode of just getting what I need to get done in terms of business and family and all of that. I don't take enough time to smell the roses. So I know where I have to work and I have to work. The irony in all of this is that one of the reasons I started a business is to be more like this, more like what I am not doing, to build joy and to build balance and to build well-being into my life. So, and create more balance. So it's something that I am conscious of now more than ever, but I have already taken steps to try to balance that. And people speak about balance as in give and take constantly. I don't see it as that. I see sometimes we go all the way to one side, sometimes we go all the way to the other, and sometimes we hit the middle
Yeah.
in terms of work and life and the work and life. However, I think that knowing when you have gone too much in any one direction is important. So you need to pull it back. So, and to be honest, when I incorporate more wellness into my life, I feel more motivated to run my business, to do the things I need to do. And sometimes you just get into a mode of doing things and it does not help
Yeah.
your health or
Yeah.
well-being.
I think you have
Mhm.
to kind of sit in a space of awareness, some kind of a moment when you can go sit back and go, okay, where am I right now? And I think this scale, why I'm thinking of these two scales, what I call it the big and the simple scale, your ambition, your well-being, is to kind of sit back and go, where am I on this scale right now? Where am I on this scale right now? What do I need to change if I need to change anything? But you have been an entrepreneur for 5 years. And in that time, you have gone from solopreneur to having a team, working with the kinds of businesses that I think you envisioned you wanted to work with, and now being on track to go regional. And if you had to, in any event, have 20, 25, 5, I don't know, women founders or entrepreneurs who are in that room, and you had one thing, one piece of critical advice you had to give to them, what would that be?
One,
I'm going to limit you. I'm so sorry.
okay. One, be unapologetic about wanting more.
Oh,
Want more. Want more, whether it be in your business to make more money, to be of higher impact. Want more freedom. Want more rest. Want more balance. Be unapologetic about what you want for yourself. Because sometimes you are tempted to shrink to make other people comfortable. And sometimes we do it very unconsciously. Why should I want this? Why should I aim for that? Everybody else has what I have. So I'm like everybody else. Why do I want to be different? And in wanting to be different, people try to shame you into why aren't you conforming?
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, what is good for a particular person may not be good enough for you. And I don't want it to seem as if this is being elitist or this is feeling that you're better than anybody. But the things that drive you, that keep you up at night, and the deepest desires of your heart are not the same as your friends, are not the same as your cousins, are not the same as your mom, who feels that maybe you have done enough, you as we say in Grenada, lifted her nose, meaning made her proud. So what else should you be looking for? And the truth
Mm,
of the matter is, once you're married and have children and have a mortgage, because not necessarily a house, and have a mortgage and a car, people feel you've made it.
yeah.
But sometimes you want more. And it's okay to want
Yes.
more and keep telling yourself that.
I love it. That's a great piece of advice and so much that spills out of that. We are coming to the end and I know that we could talk for a while because we have before, but how would anyone who wants to either hire KRC, speak with Kimalene, get involved with your events or follow along on your journey, how would they find you?
Oh, we are on the internet. We Our website is KimaleneRegisConsulting.com. My first name, my last name, and consulting. I know it's a lot, but it's there. KimaleneRegisConsulting.com. And on that page, you'll find out how to work with us, as well as information about our events, information about our products, because our rose colored planner is there, as well as one or two other digital products that we have to support small businesses who may be wanting to elevate their promotion and plan a promotion in a very logical, methodical way. You can find it on our website. It's KimaleneRegisConsulting.com. We are also on LinkedIn. Well, you can find me on LinkedIn as Kimalene Regis. We will launch our KRC LinkedIn page next year. So
Yes.
you'll interact with us as an organization from next year. And we are also on Facebook and Instagram, where you can see even some of the highlights from our events. So we are on most commonly used platforms,
Yes.
and you can find us and connect with us there.
Fantastic. So I will leave that for any of you who need to know more about Kimalene Regis Consulting and Kimalene Regis in the show notes on all of the podcast platforms where we are and also in the YouTube description because I want you to get in contact with KRC, okay? Kimalene, it has been fantastic to have you. I'm sure as you continue to grow that I'll have you on again, but thank you so much for taking the time, for being generous with your time to be here today. It's been lovely again to have you.
Thank you.
All right. So, people, that is it for now. If you've made it to the end of this episode with us, thank you so, so much for taking the time. If you liked it, share it with a friend or leave a comment or just do both. And if you watched this on YouTube, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It's free, free, free. Remember to click the bell icon to get notified every time a new episode goes live. This has been episode 7, season 3 of the Island Woman podcast. I'm your Island Woman, Dianne Squires, aka Dianne. Until next time, peace.